taking place in Parliament through the course of the day today. Yes, it's 3 weeks and it's still utter chaos. Today, the President of the country came out and said, for God's sake, please get back to work. L.K. Advani met the Speaker and said, look, if you can't get Parliament to work, may as well adjourn it and have a session in the budget time. Here's what's been happening.
The 500 rupee and 1000 rupee currency notes presently in use will no longer be legal tender.
That was a month back. The so-called surgical strike on black money that left India scrambling for cash. For 30 days now, people have been queuing up outside banks and ATMs as the government exhorts them to espouse the larger cause.
It's even being willing to take decisions where there is an element of a risk involved, as long as the government thought that the decisions are in larger national interest.
But like always, the common man was soon relegated to the background. The netas took center stage, fighting it out. Today the opposition sported black armbands to mark a black day, protesting near the Gandhi statue in Parliament. Inside the houses, the slogans continued. Rahul Gandhi targeted the Prime Minister yet again, saying Paytm should be read as pay to Modi.
Now he's moved to the cashless economy. There's the whole concept of the Paytm, pay to Modi. That's the idea behind cashless economy.
The government that accused the opposition of changing goalposts called today's protest a self-goal.
Please, 1 minute, please.
As the political football continues, it's the Aam Aadmi who is being kicked around. Hope the government nets enough black money to show for it. Bureau Report, NewsX.
3 Ds are essential in democracy. And those 3 Ds are debate, dissension and decision. But there was no 4th D, at least my teacher did not tell me that there is a 4th D, that is disruption. Disruption is totally unacceptable in the parliamentary system. People send the representatives to speak, not to sit in dharna, or not to create any trouble on the floor. For that, seats are still available. Only few weeks in a year, parliaments are in session. For demonstration, you can choose any other places. But for God's sake, do your job. You are meant to transact business. You are meant to devote your time for exercising the authorities of the members, particularly of Lok Sabha members, over money and finance.
Now, here's another interesting question where he's demanded that strict action should be taken against all those MPs who are only interested in disruptions, asking them to actually dock the pay of MPs who are part of the disruptive cycle. No work, no pay. That's a formula that applies to you. Should also apply to your MPs. That's an interesting formula that Shanta Kumar, one member of parliament, has put out. A couple of reactions have come in on this. Let's quickly listen in.
विपक्ष के जो दल हैं वे चर्चा करने नहीं देना चाहते हैं। शोरगुल में 16 नवंबर से उन्होंने पूरे सदन की कार्रवाई को बाधित किया हुआ है। मुझे लगता है कि यह वास्तविक मुद्दों से पूरी तरह भटकाव को प्रदर्शित करता है और सच्चाई से जनता को वंचित करने की एक साजिश भी है विपक्ष की। सरकार चर्चा करना चाहती है और विपक्ष चर्चा न करके केवल शोरगुल के माध्यम से पूरी संसद की कार्रवाई को बाधित कर रही है।
अरे भाई, अच्छा है, सैलरी तो पूरा देश से क्या कट रहा है, सबका वेतन आया हुआ है, कहाँ मिल रहा है पैसा। हम गए 20,000 निकालने के लिए 10,000 मिला। तो सैलरी तो सबका पैसा ऐसे ही कट रहा है। तो फाइनेंशियल इमरजेंसी की व्यवस्था है देश में, वो लगा लें। और बीजेपी के कुछ लोग नसबंदी का भी सलाह दे रहे हैं, तो वो भी कर लें। जो उपाय करना हो कर लें, फिर जनता भी अपने पारी के इंतजार में है।
And we are picking up that conversation at 9:30 p.m. on The Nation at 9 tonight. Meanwhile, here's another big story. NewsX has accessed a parliamentary committee report that hopes to break the cycle that is going on between the government and judiciary, where they've been at odds and ends over everything over the past few months. Now, this recommendation gives a bit of both. On the one hand, it says that the judiciary needs to become a lot more transparent with how they appoint their judges and explain the merits and demerits, although the final list of names can be kept secret when it goes to the collegium. On the other hand, the government should not be able, on loose language of national interest, to veto judges' names. A bit of both. Anand Sharma, the chairman of the committee, spoke to us. Listen in.
There has been an inordinate delay in the appointment of judges to the higher judiciary, the High Court, and there are vacancies even in the Supreme Court. We have 450 plus positions of judges in the higher courts vacant. That's 43% plus. This is an unacceptable situation. Also equally concerned the committee has been with the standoff between the judiciary, the collegium and the executive, and the non-finalization of the MOP, as was suggested by the collegium itself after the NGAC case was heard and the constitutional amendment was struck down. Therefore, it is an imperative that institutional mechanism is created, put in place for the future appointments, and until the finalization of a supplemental MOP, what we feel and we have recommended, all appointments should be made as per the existing memorandum of procedure.
Well, we keep hunting for silver linings, end to all kinds of face-offs and stalemates that are taking place in the political and governance realm of the country. That's a wrap on the News Hub tonight. I leave it to Palki Sharma Upadhyay on the other side of the break to pick up the triple talaq debate and find out why people still insist it's not a victory for women's rights. Stay with us.